Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Farscape. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 17 of season 2 of Farscape. And I just watched the Locket edit this morning, and it very much is still sticking with me as I'm going into this next episode because it really hammered home the fact that a lot of the people that are in relationships and that we love together might not end up together, and quite frankly might fall apart quickly. You know, we saw Dargo and Chiana really have a difference in the way their moral compass was pointing. Chiana is very much like, kind of like a Ravager. You know, she's just like, this is junk. Let's see what we can get out of it. And Dargo's not that way. You know, he does not, I don't want to say, he doesn't like rob graves. I was gonna say cradles, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But, you know, like he's not gonna go in and try to find whatever he can out of Aaron's ship to see what's left over for him. That's just not the way he is. And, you know, Chiana is not very nurturing. Like, and I feel as somebody who does not want to be a mother that like being a woman does not automatically make you maternal or nurturing, where we can be when we want to, but we don't want that to just be thrown on us because we're women. And, you know, Chiana very much experienced that with Dargo because he's just like, Aaron's dying. Like, can you please go sit with her? And she's like, why can't you go do it? And I totally understand where she's coming from because it's like one of those things where it's just like that's not me. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. Like, and just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that that should automatically be my job. So, you know, like if we're going to go find Jothi, who is being sold into slavery, and Chiana, you know, has to be around Dargo's child, if she's not nurturing and maternal, not that she even has to be, but if she's not, that's not really going to work for him having a son either. You know, and like I said, sometimes we can turn it on. I know I'm definitely that way about my dog. So, you know, my nieces and nephews, if I'm around my coworker's baby, who's just absolutely to die for, you know, like I can feel that coming out in me because like that is like kind of like part of like, I think my genetics a little bit, like to just be like a baby, take it home. But, you know, like if Chiana is not that way with Jothi, where she's, you know, like kind of emotional or, you know, supportive towards him or, you know, even caring, you know, I don't know how she is with a child. I don't know if she'd be like, hey, kiddo, like, come here, let's hang out. Or she would just be like, what's up? All right, bye. You know, so I don't know. I don't know if they're compatible in that sense. We already know that like genetically they cannot have a child together like he did with a Sebacean. And then, you know, we have John and Aaron. Now we know Aaron had children. What a traumatic thing for her body to have experienced to not remember. Like that she had 3 boys and, you know, she has a granddaughter. So she like went through childbirth that many times and her body like doesn't know that it did that. Like what a crazy thing. But we saw like how long her lifespan was. And, you know, John, like when he went down to the planet, he aged 55 years with her. And so like Peacekeeper, Sebacean DNA, like they just last longer. They stay alive longer. Their lifespans are greater than that of a human. And how heartbreaking for her that she lost her husband so early, that could potentially happen again if she's with John. And like they don't remember, but like they know, like they feel like something had happened. And, you know, knowing that like, you know, she's the love of his life, that like that's who was in her locket, like that is just absolutely beautiful. Now it is a different, you know, I don't want to say it's like a parallel universe, but it's as though it didn't happen. So maybe like years of missing him is what led to that, but she doesn't have that now. So I don't know if that's even a possibility for that to continue that same way. But for her to have discovered that over that period of time of missing him and not having him there, like that's such a beautiful thing. Now, we also had Stark in the last episode, which was like a nice surprise, I think very convenient for the storytelling. But, you know, he was able to find Moya no matter where she jumped in space and where, you know, her starburst had led her. It's just, it takes them forever to find John, you know, if he's lost, or like 3 months or whatever to find that planet that he was on. But like Stark could just be like, found you guys. Thanks for the ship. I was like, all right. cool. Whatever. I love Stark, so I'm happy to see him. I'm just like pointing out, like that's awfully convenient, is it not? But again, I think Stark is a great character, and I love his presence, and I love, just his ability to connect with Zan, and how they were able to slow down time and give Jon more time to help. I almost said Talon. Goodness, to help Moya starburst in reverse. Where's Talon? We haven't had Talon for a hot second. I would love to see some Talon, or like know something about him. I don't know. As an auntie, there's that maternal, onternal. What is your auntie instinct? What is that called? Spicy bitch, probably. Anyway, where is my nephew? What is he doing? What is that creep Crace putting in his little head? His big head. His computer. Mainframe. I don't know what we call it. Anyway, where's Talon? What's he doing? But, I very much loved that Zan and Stark had that moment where they connected, because we've only ever seen her connect with Jon and then one other person, which she killed, and then a memory of actually killing that other person, or an other person that got her into jail. Anyway, so it was nice to see somebody who could withstand the connection. It looked very painful. It didn't look fun, but they remember everything. They know what happened. Oh boy. And Stark is the one that actually revealed to Dargo what's happening with Jotham. So I'm expecting this episode to be about Jotham, and if it's not, I don't know. Oh, and the other weird thing that I kind of forgot about, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but the fact that Scorpy could still connect with Jon through that whole thing, is insane. And that Scorpy couldn't find Jon is also pretty interesting. But he was still standing there on the planet, having a conversation with Jon, still connected through the chip in his brain. Nuts. Unbelievably nuts. I hate that that's in there. I hate that Scorpy can talk to him. I do love the fact that it helped him get out of a sticky situation, but that was only to Scorpy's benefit. So, yeah, I'm not going to be too happy about it. When it's convenient to get Jon out of a pickle, yay. When it's continually, traumatizing Jon over and over, and he's seeing Scorpy at random times, that's a head 6, that's a head Gaius. I hate it. Get it out of there. I hate it. But at least it's explained with a chip. It's not just something that just happens. Anyway, so guys, I'm super interested and excited to get into this episode because I have no idea what it holds. So let's go.
The invitation was for all of you.
The others are still in the transfer.
Holy shit!
Prudent, but unnecessary. Talon, scan Officer Soot.
Oh God! Please don't do it so violently, Talon. What is this outfit, Aaron?
As
God.
I requested.
And you are still armed? How are we supposed to trust you?
Thank you. Ever.
My mind and Talon's are no longer joined.
Sure.
I am, therefore, defenseless.
Pilot, has Talon grown bigger since last we saw him?
Look at him.
His cannon sure looks bigger.
His cannon? Stop looking at his cannon.
Why did you call us?
Oh, he called them.
Despite my best efforts, Talon is becoming more aggressive, more destructive. You must help me disarm him.
Disarm him? Neuter him?
They've been over there forever. I can't believe Cracer's that good a conversationalist.
Another vessel is approaching
Sick
fast.
burn. Oh boy. We got a gunship. Watch out.
It's a Placavian ship.
Is that good or bad?
Bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Why? What's a Plocavian?
What's Talon doing?
Talon, easy, buddy. Oh God.
That cannon's definitely growing.
Definitely grown. My nephew just killed somebody.
Talon, stop talking to Moya.
What? You bad boy. Listen to your mother.
Talon's going into starburst.
Where is he going? That was a cool-ass starburst.
A second Placavian vessel is closing in.
But who are the Plocavians? And why did Talon shoot at them? He wasn't provoked, but maybe from before? Oh boy. Hold on, I guess.
Crichton. Anybody!
Did they get electrocuted or just beat up? Oh my god. I do like that Crace can't control Talon, because I think he really thought like he was going to have full control over him. But I guess also if Talon is saying that he hasn't been harmed, that's also a good thing. But he also probably hasn't been punished if he was bad. Just saying.
How is everybody?
Dargo's still out, but he doesn't seem to be hurt.
That's good.
Where's Erin?
She wasn't here when we all awoke.
Erin!
Where would she have gone?
Sparky!
No, the comms aren't working.
The dampening net. It's the only Plakovian weapon that isn't lethal.
Erin!
Whoa. Quite the echo going on there.
That's a long way down.
Uh-huh. Let's not jump.
Either they got deep shag carpet.
It's all your fault. Stop it! Behave! Quiet! Cut it out!
Jesus, quit doing that to Stark.
Where the husband are we?
Some kind of floating hubcap.
Hoop cap.
Hoop cap.
Where's Erin?
Good question.
Where would she have gone? How would she have left?
I've told you, no one is responsible.
Someone is.
Oh, the Plakovians took her.
You say Talon is a living ship. Is Talon responsible?
There is no way that Talon could have fired that cannon on his own. His manual overrides were engaged.
Then
Oh.
one of you must have fired it.
The one who fled on Talon. Crace.
Or it was set to automatically defend if the Plakovians came around.
Look, if I wanted to lie, it would be easy to blame it on Crace. After all, he and Talon fled, did they not?
If they
True.
hadn't, would it make a difference to your story?
No.
You're lying. You don't want to see either of them dispersed.
I am not lying, and I don't want to see anyone dispersed.
I do want to see the Plakovians, though.
I'm telling you, it must have been an accident.
Ridiculous!
Oh,
We
oh,
should just
hi.
execute all of you. Then we could be sure that the guilty party was punished.
I want to see you.
Do I offend your senses?
No.
You seem distressed.
It's a little weird.
Did you do it? You're protecting yourself, aren't you?
No, I'm telling you what happened.
Tell me again without the lies!
Start from where the others joined you on Talon.
Oh, God. What is happening with the water? Is something dripping off of them? And is that acid?
I merely wish to make his armament non-lethal by trading
Oh.
his main cannon for a dampening net, which will incapacitate hostile vessels.
Interesting. Instead of shooting them, just paralyzing them almost.
Who are the Placadians?
They are a race who build powerful and dangerous weapons.
Yes. However, what I want is a simple dampening net.
Peacekeeper lies.
I don't know. I believe him, actually, which is saying something. Because I hate Christ, the fire of 1,000 suns.
I see a potential difficulty here.
Huh.
What if Talon doesn't want us frelling with his weaponry?
That's true.
I need your help, and Moya's, to convince Talon to accept the modifications.
I will not be a party to this. If we really want to help Talon, then we should
Dargo.
kill Christ.
I am up with that.
That doesn't help anything.
Indeed, not. Talon will become more destructive without my guidance.
It's
You
true.
mean your control?
I don't know about that.
I have not misused Talon's power.
I believe him.
I've only used it in self-defense.
I believe him.
Maybe Crace is right, John. We do know of Talon's encounter with the Holosians.
It was all that I could do to stop Talon from utterly destroying them.
What a stack of dread.
I still say we kill Christ.
I understand why they don't trust him.
Crace, we've arrived. Your ship is still active.
Manual override is engaged. Talon is no longer monitoring this conversation.
As you wish.
They are armed.
Perhaps we better raise the defense screen just in case.
No, that may be interpreted as a sign of bad faith.
Is there a problem, Crace?
No problem. Let's discuss the terms of our agreement.
Oh, God. So maybe Talon had decided something in that moment.
Who fired that shot?
Nobody and proximity sensors were switched off.
That did come from Talon, yes? It's not like Klingons can shoot while cloaked in a bird of prey?
So, the cannon just went off by itself.
A cannon.
No one had anything to do with it.
You understand, we might find that difficult to accept.
Why are we seeing things dripping into this?
Well, there's nothing to hold on to.
Where would we go, anyway?
Sooner or later, one of us is gonna have to find a bathroom.
True.
I really wish I hadn't said that.
Aaron, you okay?
Wow, what an entrance.
Where have you been?
Being questioned by the Placavians. They want to know what happened aboard Talon. We'll all be questioned. Don't lie to them. Lying will get us all executed.
What did you tell them?
The truth.
I am curious what their interpretation of the truth is, though.
Are they listening?
I have to assume so. I told them no one was responsible for firing Talon's weapons, that he must have malfunctioned.
Gotta let the others know.
Oh. Was Zan listening? Did she hear the word malfunction? Does she know that that's what Aaron said?
Please resume your testimony.
You were on Scorpius's gimmick base.
I'm flattered you remember me. My name is Stark.
Wait a second. Stark didn't fire, right? He wanted to put up the defense shield. He didn't actually, fire from Talon, correct?
Where will you obtain a dampening net?
From a Placavian arms dealer.
Placavians?
Yeah, Stark seems very upset about Placavians. Immediately wanted to put up the shield when he saw them.
You'll need our help and Moya's if you want to sedate Talon for the modifications.
Talon might not want to give his cannon, right?
Talon was designed by peacekeepers. Peacekeepers never give up their weapons. But it's in his best interest, so we should let Krace do it.
Yeah, I guess we should.
Sounds very reasonable to me.
What is this story?
That nobody had a problem with Krace's plan?
No, of course they did.
Interesting that that's her interpretation of what went down or what she's telling them.
I just want to help Talon.
He doesn't need your help.
He most certainly does.
So we've seen Aaron's perspective. We've seen Zan's perspective. Are we going to see everybody's perspective of the same conversation?
Talon trusts me.
I sure don't.
John, I have not misused Talon's power. I've only fired his cannons in self-defense.
Yes, he may be speaking the truth. Consider his encounter with the Halosians. He could have destroyed them, but he didn't.
They attacked us, but I showed restraint. Now, doesn't that demonstrate my good intentions?
Interesting. And each scene is a little bit different considering whose point of view it's being retold from.
Weapons console malfunction. No, stay away.
We have to disarm it.
You might set it off.
Interesting. So we don't really even know what happened. Even from Aaron's perspective.
Now go!
There was nothing we could do.
John looks scared, which was not the case.
We boarded the transport pod to return to Moya. And,
That is quite the chair they have going on there.
any more questions?
No? Did they stop listening to her? What is going on with Dargo and Stark?
Zan, how'd it go?
I told them what I saw. I hope they believe me.
If they don't, we all die.
I know that.
Stark!
Just see that you remember it.
Dargo.
What is happening? Yeah. Dargo knows something. I'm thinking Stark is the issue here.
The reformed Krace is just an act. Crichton wasn't buying it either.
True. But I believe him, unfortunately.
Give me the word, and I'll break his neck.
Whew.
You don't dare. Talon will be lost without my guidance. He needs a captain. He chose me.
Well, perhaps we should override that choice.
It's so funny because a lot of this is totally different than their personalities.
The Placavians are here.
Grace, your ship is still active.
Never mind. Our deal is cancelled.
I cannot permit that. The contract stands.
That's not what the others hold.
Yeah, Stark, you're lying. Why are you lying?
Believe they're protecting Krace?
Yeah.
No. They're protecting Talon. They know you'd have to destroy Talon to bring Krace to justice.
And you don't care about Talon?
Not as much as I care about the others. Besides, you may never catch them.
He's actually trying to help destroy Talon and Krace. Dargo, just go scream into the void, would ya?
Watch your step. It's a long way down.
Keep bothering me, and I'll test that theory by throwing you over it.
Just trying to cheer you up.
Don't bother.
What is going on with Dargo?
Your testimonies do not correspond.
What did you say to them?
Leave me alone. Give me my mask! Help me!
What happens if he doesn't get his mask back on? What if it falls off to the edge? Oh my god! Somebody catch it! Thank you.
The hell was that?
My mask keeps my energies in check. I wasn't prepared to lose it. I lost control. I wasn't focused.
Doggo, that didn't help.
Oh, and Stark's lies were...
Well, and like, how did it come off so easily?
I'll tell them what I really saw.
Okay. It's gonna be the spicy version, I'm sure.
And who are the Placavians?
Barbarians, murderers. They're felling savages who deal in death.
Savages?
That was the word he used?
Grace only wants a dampening that.
Dren. I think he wants to equip Talon with even deadlier weapons.
You know what I think? I think you are right.
It's a little hokey, and I love it.
We will not be a party to this.
We must stop the Placovians. They're evil. Their weapons have helped enslave many worlds, including mine.
Yeah. I knew that had something to do with it a little bit with Stark.
I think I know how to help Talon. Why don't we break Grace's neck?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the neck breaking.
He would be even more destructive without my guidance.
You mean your control? He wants to keep Talon's powers for his own selfish purposes.
Yeah.
I like how it's like showing Dargo like really, really calm when he's been doing nothing but storming around for the entire like episode.
Look at the cargo analysis.
Novogen gas eats you alive from the inside out.
We can't let Grace get near these monsters. We have to strike first.
Is that what's dripping? Well, they're dripping into the gas. Oh. What the heck? Placovian hits the windshield. Stark's like, aha!
Stark fired the cannon.
Yes, but I will never mourn the death of someone who deals in Novogen gas.
Then why turn Stark in?
Because the rest of us should not be responsible for something that he alone did.
But did he? I was sus of Stark from the very beginning here.
Dargo's testimony is going to get me executed.
But you didn't fire the cannon.
I know I didn't. You have to believe me. I didn't do it.
Did he or didn't he? That's really the question. Did he, didn't he? Did he, didn't he? Did he, didn't he? Fun.
John Crichton.
Oh boy. What'd you say, Dargo? What'd you do, Dargo? What's going on there? Are Eve and Dan, like, having their moment? Like, you know?
Stark's never even been aboard Talon. He probably wouldn't know how to find the weapons console.
It's true.
Stark offered to raise Talon's defense screen. He started towards the weapon console, but I stopped him before he could touch anything.
Well, that makes sense. Dargo sees Stark near the weapons console, so after the Big Bang, he assumes it's Stark because Stark was the closest.
Thank you, John.
Well, no, I never approached the weapons console. When it malfunctioned, Crichton started toward it, but Aaron told him not to touch it.
Then you were the closest.
I don't think John would have done it.
Everybody's stories are going to be a little different. Nobody sees things the exact same way.
It's very true. That's why eyewitnesses can't really be reliable.
Then Christ got angry and pressed a control. That's when the cannon fired.
Stark hates peacekeepers.
Yep.
He'd like to see you go after Christ, even if Christ didn't destroy your ship.
And he hates Placovians, most likely.
You're all lying. Further testimony is a waste of time.
Oh,
The executions will begin immediately.
They're literally melting.
Tell us who the guilty one is, and we'll spare the others.
Sure.
Otherwise, we will commence the executions with you.
There's just nothing new in the universe, is there? Same everywhere. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
You think we're bluffing?
I don't think you give a damn about the truth. I think you're looking for a scapegoat.
Very
We
much.
want justice.
All right, then listen up. I don't know what happened. Probably never will. Could have been Stark, could have been Christ, could have been any one of us.
Oh, John, I love you.
Best I can do is tell you what I saw. No coverings, no editorials, no axes to grind. Does that work for you?
Go on.
God, stop showing them. I liked it better when we were in the darkness. The oozy, goozy, icky, sticky grossness.
Right up to the point where Crace tells us about the Placovoids.
The Placovoids? Are you farbot?
The Placovoids.
Suppose what you really want is to install even deadlier weapons on Talon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
You can supervise the installation yourself. In fact, I'll need your help and Moya's to sedate Talon for the modification.
I hate that I trust him. I hate that I think he's telling the truth.
Why don't we just break your neck?
One consistent out of the entire thing.
Talon would be even more destructive without my guidance.
Perhaps another captain would have more success.
Doubtful. He trusts me.
Then he's the only one around here who does.
I don't know. Damn it, I hate that I trust Crace for this specific moment, for this specific thing.
I have changed, Crichton.
Maybe, minuscule, little bit, a smidge.
My only concern is for Talon's protection. Left unchecked, his aggressiveness will lead to disaster.
Agreed.
The solution I propose.
I don't think doing that without Talon's permission is okay, though.
Stark, what are you doing?
We have to strike first.
What have you done?
Oh, God. So it was Stark. I don't know if we need to keep seeing the Placovians hitting the windscreen, sunscreen, space screen.
You assert that Stark did touch something at the weapons console.
After I shut down the console.
Oh. He shut it down.
With the safety on, Stark couldn't do a thing.
Okay, then what happened?
And that's how I saw it. Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't take him literally, please. That's a stupid human saying.
What the hell will do it? Pulse fire? Strangulation?
Drippy acid.
They mentioned something called dispersal.
Oh boy.
What else did they say?
I didn't ask for details. Why?
Yeah, why?
Because there's a remote chance that I could survive dispersal. My physical form is only part of my reality. Much of me is energy that I can control and project.
Interesting.
Maybe if I'm prepared for it, I can transfer enough of myself into another realm to survive.
We do know that creatures like Moldus can be dispersed and recoalesce.
Maybe I can return to this realm someday.
Oh, he's going to go away.
No, I don't believe it either.
Oh.
But even a remote possibility is...
At least a little bit easier to deal with, maybe?
We have considered your testimonies and reached a conclusion.
Yes.
Your lack of candor gives us no choice but to have you all put to death.
Here we go.
Wait! I cannot let the others die on my behalf. I fired on the Placavian ship and destroyed it.
Stark, don't.
Oh, God. Jeez. But he might be able to survive it, right?
You freely confess your crime?
Yes, I do. Does that surprise you?
A little bit.
Not in the least.
You were our prime suspect from the start.
I kind of figured it from the start, but... Interesting, he's keeping his energy at bay.
I thank you all for the great risks you took to save a mere Bannock slave.
Oh.
Your acceptance, your friendship has meant a lot to me.
You have confessed to the crime of murder. Are you ready to accept the penalty?
Okay, but if it's dispersal, then I think maybe he might be okay. I believe in you, Stark. I believe in you. That's dispersal? That's awful!
I thought he was trying to save himself, but he was really trying to save us all.
Yeah, you big jerk.
He shouldn't have died for his crime.
I don't know if he did.
What crime?
Stark committed no crime.
I saw him fire the cannon.
You saw him press the fire button. I had shut down the weapons console so he couldn't fire.
Did you know what else would happen when you neutralized the controls?
Allow Talon to shoot?
I knew that shutting down the weapons console would kill the manual override, yeah.
You returned control of the weapons to Talon.
And Talon shot.
When Talon scanned the arms dealer's cargo, he asked Moya what it was. She realized it was Novatrin gas, one of the 6 forbidden cargoes no Leviathan may carry.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And Talon destroyed that ship.
And that's why she felt guilty.
He thought he was protecting Moya.
That's a good kiddo. When are we gonna find Jothi? We got one son returned to his mother for a hot second. I'd love to see a son return to his father.
You'll find him.
I know I will, but only because Stark came back to tell me where he was.
Yeah, you owe him.
Why did he do that?
Because he cared.
He felt he owed you and Crichton a debt. Maybe this was his way of repaying it.
Oh, it's because he cared. It's a big heart on that guy.
I've become so distrustful of people. Even when they're trying to help me.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about what I've become?
He's been through a lot. He's been traumatized.
When the Bucavians were questioning you, why didn't you try to finger Crace?
What if they believed me? They probably would have gone after Crace and they would have had to kill Talon to get to him.
Plus, it was the truth.
So you were protecting Talon?
Of course.
Did you think she was protecting Crace?
And that's it?
Yes. Can I ask you something?
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's possible that Stark survived?
Yes. In my heart, I know that.
Since I got here, I've seen a lot of impossible things.
Uh-huh.
Well, Zan thinks it's possible.
So do I.
As she says she does. I don't think she believes it.
I believe it. We'll see him again. Oh. Good to see her really connect with somebody. Okay, ask and ye shall receive. I wanted to know about Talon. I found out about Talon. I'm gonna eat some chocolate. I've been worried about Talon ever since him and Crace ran off, and even their run-in with the Halosians. You know, like I still found myself thinking that Crace was the one that maybe instigated. And here I am. I don't want to say defending Crace, but I do think that Crace changed a little bit. People can change. You know, I do find that like a lot of that core stuff that has made them who they are is still in there, and it's stuff that you can pull from, but it doesn't necessarily make you who you still are. And I do think that Crace, while he is still kind of an arrogant little asshole, I don't think that he is trying to use Talon to do harm. Now, obviously, him wanting to remove Talon's like main canon, which the canon jokes were a little... I want to say that I made them first. I'm like, oh, what's he got? Does he get a long-range missile? Anyway, it's neutering him. It's like literally like taking away like a piece of him. And if you don't have his permission, then it's assault. And so I really would like for Aaron to be able to connect to Talon and to be able to ask Talon, like, hey, is it okay that we do this? This is why this is important. Did he keep himself and everyone safe because he thought that the Placovians were going to do harm? Yes. Him speaking with Moya and Moya telling him, like, hey, the gas that's on there is like one of the forbidden things that like you can't bring that aboard a Leviathan. You know, it scared him. And so he just thought that harm was going to happen to him. Does he have an itchy trigger finger? I think so. But it's along the lines of you don't really know like what. It's kind of uncharted territory a little bit because no one's ever had an armed Leviathan. And an armed Leviathan only knows that it's armed and to protect itself, especially with a peacekeeper brain attached to it. Now, if it were John, it'd probably be a different story completely. If John were attached to Talon, it'd probably be a way more empathetic ship. He'd probably have a much better chance of disarming Talon. And I think the in-between of those two sides of Crais and John is in fact Aaron. So like it's a good segue into, introducing Talon to a different way of life and having less violence, but like still having defenses. I definitely liked that this was told from many different perspectives, and that a lot of people saw Stark hit the button, but they didn't understand that Stark hit the button, but he was also like, he hit it after John had turned the console off. So even though Talon had shot at the same time that Stark hit the button, it did not mean that Stark actually shot the cannon. And I think Stark, I knew he was probably mildly responsible, because it was very much the impression like when Stark is on the bridge of Talon and Crais says like, oh, you're a something slave. Like I knew that the Placovians probably had something to do with his home being enslaved, or them, being under control or rule. And I was like, I feel like Stark is afraid of them. Do I think it's okay to shoot a cannon at them? No. And I mean, like, he was doing it because he was scared, because he was just like, oh, we have to do something. We have to turn the shields on. We have to do this, And everyone saw it from a different perspective. And I think like, John going last, I knew John would have the full truth of the matter from his perspective, but he couldn't tell you exactly what was going on and what was said and the feelings of everybody. And I like the different perspectives definitely had a different vibe about them. Like Dargo is a very aggressive person, and his was very like calm, and everybody else was kind of aggressive. And, Zan very much was like in hers, like kind of in control of hers, while like seemed like John was like really afraid and scared. And, Aaron's was just very matter of fact. And I love that every perspective gave us something different. And it seemed like John and Dargo were just like ready to kill and break a neck. And that was kind of like true within all of them. I really like the way that this was filmed. The ugly truth. It really, really was. And Stark sacrificing himself by saying like, yep, it was me. I did it. I hit the button. I'm the one that fired. Knowing that maybe the dispersal might be something that he could withstand and come back from. And I think he did. I think he is going to come back. He might be a little different. And I love that Zan has this connection with him. I don't know if it's love. I don't know if it's friendship. You can still love some of your friends, but I definitely her like mourning the loss of him and like still seeing his mask, like that was like such a beautiful moment for her. Now, I'm really interested to know, one, where Talon Starburst 2, how long it's going to be since that we get to see him again. I'm happy Moya got to talk to her baby again. I'm glad that this auntie got to see him. I didn't like that he was killing people, but I do like that he was defending her family. So I'm going to say I'm willing to accept that loss. And I do trust Crais is... Those words just really... sitting on the tip of my tongue was kind of gross there. I do trust that Crais has Talon's best interest at heart. Ugh. God, I hate him. But I do think that he is doing his best to keep Talon safe. And like when he said it, he's like, I'm not a killer. I'm like, well, you are. We know he's killed and he's a killer. But maybe he has changed and doesn't want to be a killer anymore. And, until we've seen something different, we don't really know. And he was like disarming Talon. Like he very much, like took over control of Talon, put on the privacy mode, took out the transponder. Like there's a lot of things that he did that he didn't really have to do and ask for their help. And, he knew that Aaron was probably the only person who could help him with that. And like that takes a lot for somebody of Crais with his attitude and where he stands and like the way he carries himself and holds himself to ask help from somebody that probably despises him and that he's done wrong. I can't believe it's taken us almost like, how many episodes has it been? Like 15 or 16 episodes since we've seen Talon last? Like that's a big gap. And no Scorpion this one. No Wayne. Sorry, Wayne. You didn't get a check for this episode. I think you should get a check for every episode because Wayne is amazing and I love him as Scorpius. Look at me saying that I believe Crais and Scorpius is amazing. What is wrong with me? Still hate Maldus. Still hate that guy. Not going to change anytime soon about that guy. And other Scarens. Big fat thumbs down. Scorpius? Meh. Crace? Meh. Scorpius, of course, is in the affirmative. Okay, so Jotham. We have to find Jotham. And Dargo's anger towards Stark made it very obvious that he thought it was Stark that hit the button, but then him not trusting people, I really love that he realizes this. Like, that's the best thing, is self-actualization. When somebody realizes something about themselves and they go, that's got to change. I do that all the time where I'm just like, gosh, I really hate that I get like edgy or like I get kind of like pissy if I'm hungry. And like I joke around about it, which is why I ate a little like chunk of chocolate, is because I could feel like that irritation coming on. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna head this off. We're gonna eat some chocolate right now because it's gonna stop that. It's not a Snickers, but it's almost as good. I do like realize that he realized about himself that he can't trust people, and it's kind of harming him, and it's harming others around him. And Stark was just doing something because he cared. Not that he even felt like he owed Dargo. He never had to go back if he didn't want to, but he cared enough to go back. And he wanted Dargo to know about his son. And I think Dargo realizes this at the end, that if it, like, one, wasn't for Stark, he wouldn't know. But two, he's like, why would he do that? It's because he cares. People care about you, Dargo. Yeah, angry brute. Have a piece of chocolate. Please. But we need to find Jotham. And it seemed like, you know, Chiana, it's funny because at the beginning I was like, Chiana's not really maternal or, you know, like emotionally supportive. And she is. She is. I don't think she wants like a baby thrown in her arms and said, here, take care of it. But I do think that like she like loves Dargo and wants that for him and wants him to have his son in his life and is really supportive of that. I mean, one, because it will make Dargo happy, but two, I think that like she can see how much he's longing to be back with his child, and she knows how much it would mean to Dargo and wants that for him. And it, again, it would change Jotham's life because he's being sold into slavery. So we need to find that kiddo yesterday. I thought that's what this episode was going to be about, but no, we got my boy Talon with his large cannon. That boy indeed. And you know, Rigel, he was like, can Moya starburst? Like, he's being Rigel, but like him like looking for food and everything, he's got anxiety. And it's not even about being alone. He's worried about his family, you know, like the whole situation. Like he just like wants it to be over with. And like the quick escape is to starburst on Moya, but like he's also trying to placate himself with his anxiousness. And it's very nice to see some emotional responses from Rigel. As small as they are, and however you might just think he's looking for some crackers because they don't matter, like he very much, I think, was feeling his emotions, and those little moments we're going to savor the flavor on, because he's got so many other moments where I'm just like, you little shit. But guys, if you want to watch full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to one episode early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What do you think of this episode? Do you trust Grace? Did you trust Grace at this moment? Because most of the people that are watching the reactions have already seen all the episodes. Did you trust Grace in this moment? Because I know I do, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. Did you think that Stark was the one that fired? Because I did the entire episode until Jon said he shut down the switch and Talon took it over. I actually, at first, I did think it was Talon, that Talon shot anyways, but I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense because he shouldn't be able to. And then I was like, oh, then it's Stark. But really, Jon allowed Talon to be able to shoot and protect his family. Remember that. You come for us, you get Talon. I sick my nephew on you, all right? Actually, my one nephew is like a double black belt in karate, so I'll sick that nephew on you. Hi, Jameson. You're probably not watching this. Anyway, guys, I'm super excited because the closer we get to the end of a season, the more I know that these episodes get ramped. And this was a really good episode, so I expect the next one to be a really, really good episode. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I think so. So guys, come back here for the next episode. And in the meantime, I'll see ya.